Chad, do you like movies and stuff like that? Are
Yeah.
you into stuff like that? Somebody asked me you into Star Wars, but I'm pretty sure it's a bigger genre out there than just fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
I love that now because Disney bought Star Wars. We were like, "Are you into Star Wars?" And you're like, "Which chapter?"
Right.
Because I would love to talk about all of them, but we're only mortals. I am into Star Wars. I just did. All right, so I do a movie recaps for an app called Beams, which I know I sound like I'm just like, hey man, check out my app. You don't have to do it, but if you want to, it's fun. It's called Beams FM, and it's an app. It's like audio Twitter, and they brought me on to write a minute and a half spoilers for movies. So like if it's a movie that you don't want to see, but you want to know what it's about so you can have a conversation with somebody, just click on it and I'll watch the movie so you don't have to.
Cliff notes.
Yeah. It's mostly horror movies because people apparently have a problem with horror movies. I don't understand that. But anyway, so I just did a recap of like all of the movies that ObiWan is in that you need to see before the show that drops on Disney Plus on May 27th. They're not paying me to say that. I'm just saying for it.
Just happy to say it.
But yeah, I watched episode 1, 2, and 3. You're welcome. And then there's a bunch of episodes of the Clone Wars you should watch. But like the one I was told that's like the most important one is there's an episode of Rebels where they meet Obi-Wan. It's the one with him and Maul. Oh yeah, by the way, spoiler alert, everybody. Darth Maul's not dead. It's been canon for almost a decade. Think about that. If anybody's got a problem. So yeah, it's that one too, is apparently a thing. I think we're gonna see Darth Maul in the show. I'm excited.
I hope so. That'd be dope.
Yeah, that would be dope. And we get to see the actual. Well, it wasn't much of a fight.
Yeah, no, it really wasn't. They make a big deal out of it, but if you go back and watch it, you're like, no.
Somebody didn't stand a chance here. We're not gonna say who.
It's funny because like I went back and rewatched these movies and like in fits and starts because like the first like Phantom Menace you can only handle about like 2 minutes of it and you're like, oh yeah. And then you jump, pod race, jump, final fight. And you're like, oh, we're done. No, we're done. We don't have to keep going. But like Attack of the Clones has some fun stuff, but Revenge of the Sith is the most watchable one of the prequels. There's a lot of really cool shit that happened in that movie.
Yeah, facts.
That is very true.
But then it goes stupid. And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. This movie sucks. They all suck.
How do you feel about Jar Binks?
I feel like at this point you should know how I feel about Jar Binks.
Even if you don't know me, you should know how I feel about it.
It's like you asked me to be on your podcast. I feel like there's a measure of pride there. I remember. Okay, so the first time I saw the Phantom Menace, I remember because like I love Star Wars, and I have an original trilogy because I went to Exchange on Belmont. It was like when Force Awakens,
the video store.
It was right when Force Awakens was coming out, and I went there because I wanted to see. I went in and I was like, I remember going up to the guy at the desk, which was very weird because I'm very small. So it was more like hey, you come here, and we were talking, and I was like, do you happen to have any I don't know, like original trilogy stuff? And I'm serious. This is not a joke. Guy went like this. And I was like, we'll follow you into the back. So I followed him into the back. For the podcast audience, I just nodded my head to the back of the room.
You shouldn't have followed him to the back, Chad. I don't think you should have followed him.
I feel like I was in a safe place because I said Star Wars, and he was like, come check this out. And I'm like, well, either way, I'm going to like this.
I'm like
either way. He said either way.
Yeah, depending on what ends up happening, I'm going to at least go, yeah, but that was some good cosplay. So I go back there, and he had 3 original DVDs from the special edition when it first released, and DVDs, and they had the original cut, the theatrical cut in the special editions. And he was like, here, you like in the special features? For you kids out there, we used to have DVDs. And on them were the special features, which is what you bought. Yeah, this is what you bought the DVD for, was the extra stuff, the making ofs. And on this particular special features, it had the original theatrical cut. And the guy was like, I was like, give me these, teach me. And he was like, that they're $25 a piece. And I was like, I don't care. And he's like, that's $75. And I was like, I said what I said. And so I still have them here in my apartment. And every time I'm feeling like watching a Star Wars, that's what I do, is I'll go back and watch the original trilogy without any of the fucking jazz that they put on it. That's my go-to happy place. And I'm a Return of the Jedi stan, so I stick by that.
Okay.
Nice.
You don't have the. You don't have the.
Clint's just like, okay. Moving on.
Yeah, he's not.
No, you good. No, you good. I was gonna ask you if you had the Chewbacca Christmas special on DVD.
Oh wow, the holiday special.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you have that. That's all.
So I have a podcast too, which I will have you guys on soon because it's a lot of fun. And every year for Christmas, I pull my friend Jen Bencourt, who was on the stream today, and we watch the Star Wars holiday special. And we've watched it 4 times now because we do it like every year.
So is that
and every year we learn something new.
Pleasure?
yeah. At that point we've reversed, and now it's weird and kinky. Where it's just like, this used to be a hate watch, and now I think you like it too much. I'm like, maybe I do. Maybe I do.
Now shut the fuck up. My part is coming up.
Now the Wookiees are going to talk for 20 minutes with no subtitles, and we're just going to have to guess.
I'm almost there. I'm almost understanding what the fuck they saying.
Someday.
A couple more watches.
We're going to go watch the grandpa Wookiee masturbate in the chair for another 20, which it happens in that movie.
I know. I've
That
learned a lot of things through TikTok that I probably shouldn't know.
Right. Yep. Welcome to the internet. Yeah, no, I've seen the holiday special many times. Here's an interesting thing. So like we stream on my YouTube, we watch like classic movies until we get booted. And we got booted watching the Star Wars holiday special. And we were like, wait a minute. Who cares what happens to that special?
Like,
who cares?
Yeah, who's claiming this?
Yeah. And like, it turns out nobody, except when you get to the cartoon in the holiday special. That's the first time that they've ever introduced Boba Fett, was in the Star Wars holiday. And they've got this admittedly pretty boss cartoon in there that's like kind of Ralph Bakshi, kind of like heavy metal kind of animation, real trippy.
Yeah.
And you can watch that cartoon on the Disney Channel, on the Disney Plus. It's the only thing they kept from the holiday special. And so when we got to the cartoon, YouTube was like, "Oh no, sorry, no, we can't. Sorry, sir, we can't." So yeah, little trivia.
How do you feel about Disney though? Like, do you like Disney? Do you like the apps and movies and stuff like that they got going on right now?
Do I have a choice at this point? You can't like no, I don't like that it's a giant corporation that owns everything. But then they show them, they're like, yeah, but check it out. We're gonna bring back Darth Vader, and you're like, I'm sorry I called you an evil corporation. And they're like, yeah, take your medicine. You're like, I will, sir. Thank you. May I have another?
I will be on the dark side. It's okay.
It hurts. It's just how it is. Like, you get it. You get how people would have joined the Empire in the movie. Because you're like, nah, man, why would I want to go for those? They're space Nazis. That's what they're supposed to be. It's fucking horrible. And it's like, yeah, but did you see what the lineup is on their HBO Max? And you're like, holy fuck.